In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the concept of impedance parameter, which is related to two-port networks. So, impedance parameter is also termed as Z parameters. We know that impedance is denoted by the term Z, so it is also called as Z parameters. So normally we have already seen in the introduction of two-port network that the voltage V1, V2, I1 and I2 across two terminals, that is input terminals and output terminals, are related by a set of parameters, and we are going to derive 6 set of parameters. So the first set of parameters is the impedance parameters, and the next is the admittance parameter. So normally this impedance and admittance parameter are commonly used in the synthesis of filters. So filters are uh, filters are so normally how can we define filter is something which filters a particular signal. Okay, so here these parameters are used in the synthesis of filters. Now they are also useful in the design and the analysis of impedance matching networks and power distribution networks. We discuss so now first we'll be discussing about the impedance parameters. Now a two-port network may be voltage driven or current driven as shown in these figures. Now look at these figures. There is a linear network. So this linear network, you can see that it is connected to voltage source at the two terminals. So this can be acting as the input terminal and this can be acting as the output terminals. So to these terminals there is a voltage source connected. So this is a linear two-port network which is driven by a voltage source. Now look at the second one. We have a current source at the input and output terminal instead of a voltage source. Okay, so this circuit is a two-port network driven by current sources. So from these two networks we can relate the terminal voltage and current. So we are going to relate V1, V2, I1 and I2. Okay, so we are talking about the impedance parameter. So just apply Ohm's law. V is equal to I into R. Okay, now we are talking about two-port networks. Okay, so we are discussing about this terminal affecting the other one, and similarly this affecting the other one. So we can relate the terminal voltage and current as like this: V1 is equal to I1 Z11 plus Z12 I2. Okay, so consider this section. V1 will be written as I1 into Z11 plus Z12 into I2. Similarly, V2 can be written as Z21 into I1 plus Z22 I2. So these are the two terminal voltages related to the terminal current, equations relating to terminal voltage and current. Now in matrix form this can be written as V1 V2 is equal to Z11 Z12 Z21 Z22 into I1 I2. So this can be written as Z into I1 I2, where this Z is called as the impedance parameter. Okay, so this has a unit of ohms because it is impedance. Okay, so the unit is ohms. Now to determine this value of this impedances, that is to determine the value of Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22, what can be done is it is evaluated by setting I1 is equal to 0. What does it mean I1 is equal to 0? If I1 is equal to 0, it means that we are disconnecting this voltage source. So it means that input port is open circuited. Okay, or what we will do is we'll disconnect this V2 source keeping the V1 source. Okay, so again what happens is we are open circuiting this terminal. Okay, so output port open circuited. So consider the first case when I1 is equal to 0. Okay, so I1 is equal to 0. What happens to this equation? I1 is equal to 0. It means that we will get Z12 is equal to V1 by I2. So here look at this, Z12 is equal to V1 by I2. Similarly, in the second equation, if I1 is equal to 0, Z22 will be V2 by I2. So this is, we get Z12 and Z22 when we open circuit the input port. Okay, now this is the input port, this is the output port, right? Similarly, we are making I2 is equal to 0. It means that we are disconnecting source V2, keeping V1. Okay, in that case I2 will be equal to 0. Again substitute it here. If I2 is equal to 0, then Z11 will be V1 by I1. That is what is given here. And again in this equation, if I2 is equal to 0, Z21 will be equal to V2 by I1. Okay, so normally this Z parameters are obtained by open circuiting the output or input port. So these are also called as open circuit impedance parameters. So Z parameters are also called as open circuit parameters or open circuit impedance parameter. Okay, now we can give the name for the Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22. Z11 is, we know Z is a term related to impedance, and Z11 is related to the input side, so it is input impedance. Open circuit, we obtain this input impedance by open circuiting the terminals. So we call this as open circuit input impedance. Now Z21 and Z12 are all called as transfer impedance. Why transfer impedances? It is related from one port to another port. So it is called as transfer impedance. So Z12 is called as open circuit transfer impedance from port 1 to port 2. Then Z21 is called as open circuit transfer impedance from port 2 to port 1. And again Z22 is called as output impedance. So we obtain this output impedance by open circuiting the terminals. So it is called as open circuit output impedance. Now Z11 is called as open circuit input impedance. Z22 is called as open circuit output impedance. And Z12 and Z21 are called as open circuit transfer impedances from port 1 to port 2 or port 2 to port 1. Now according to equation this, we obtain Z11 and Z21 by connecting a voltage source or current source to port 1 with port 2 open circuited as shown in figure. Now how we obtain this Z11 and Z21 is, you can see that we are making I2 is equal to 0. What does it mean I2 is equal to 0? It means that we are disconnecting the V2 source. Now look at this diagram. This is the same diagram. This is the input terminal side and this is the output terminal side. So here V1 is connected, but here V2 is disconnected. So here we have made V2 as open circuit, okay, and made I2 as 0. If we take this condition, then we can obtain these two parameters, that is Z11 and Z21. Similarly, look at the second diagram. So this diagram, you can see that V1 is disconnected, keeping V2 as such, and we have made I1 as 0. If I1 is made as 0, so you look at here, I1 is made as 0, we can obtain Z12 and Z22. Okay, so this is how the parameters are found. Z parameters are found by open circuiting the respective ports. Now sometimes, so here you can see sometimes Z11 and Z22 are called as driving point impedances, while Z21 and Z2 are called as transfer impedances. We know that input impedance and output impedance, we are calling it as driving point impedance. So Z11 and Z22 are called as driving point impedance, while Z21 and Z12 are called as transfer impedances. Why transfer impedances? Because it is related from one port to another port. Now, let us define this. A driving point impedance is the input impedance of a two-terminal one-port device. Thus, Z11 is the input driving point impedance with output port open circuited, while Z22 is the output driving point impedance with input port open circuited. What does it mean? Z11 is obtained with Z11 will be equal to V1 by I1, right? So we are saying that a driving point impedance is the input impedance of a two-terminal device. Okay, so why we call it as two-terminal devices? It is related to only one particular terminal at a time. If we take Z11, it is related to V1 and I1. Similarly, if we take Z22, it is related to V2 and I2. Okay, so normally how we obtain this input impedance is by open circuiting the output terminal. Similarly, if we are going to obtain the output impedance, we are going to open circuit the input port. Okay, when Z11 is equal to Z22, then the two port network is said to be symmetrical, that is, it will have a mirror like symmetry. Okay, if we have a central line and divide the network into two halves, it will be symmetrical to each other. It means the values in the first half of the two port network will be same as the second half of the network. So if Z11 is equal to Z22, it is called as symmetrical. Now, when two-port network is linear, has no dependent source, and the transfer impedance are equal, that is Z12 is equal to Z21, and the two-port is said to be reciprocal. So, when we will say a two-port network to be reciprocal is, if the two-port network is linear and it should not contain any dependent source, and the transfer impedances, that is Z12 is equal to Z21, should be equal. So these are the conditions when the two-port network is said to be reciprocal. Okay, so it is, first condition is it should be linear, second condition is no dependent source, third condition is transfer impedances are equal. So what does it mean? This means that if the point of excitation and response are interchanged, the transfer impedances remains the same. Now look at this diagram. So you can look at this diagram. In the first diagram, you can see that the input terminal is connected to a voltage source and the output is measured across the other terminal. Okay. Now look at the second one. That is the voltage source and ammeter are interchanged. That means ammeter is connected to port 1 and voltage source is connected to port 2. If it is a reciprocal network, then what happens is we will get the same response for the two circuits here. We will get the same response because these two are reciprocal networks. So as illustrated here, a two-port network is reciprocal if interchanging an ideal voltage source at one point with an ideal ammeter at the other port gives the same ammeter reading. So the reciprocal network, it yields V is equal to Z12 into I according to equation 1, that is related to here. Okay, that is here. Similarly, if you take the second one, it yields V is equal to Z21 into I. So this is possible only if Z12 is equal to Z21. So any two-port network that is made entirely of resistor, capacitor and inductor, it must be reciprocal. Normally this reciprocal network are replaced by equivalent circuit, that is a T equivalent circuit. If reciprocal network is present, then we can replace with the T equivalent circuit. If the circuit is not reciprocal, then we will have a general equivalent network. So we'll see that here. So this is the T equivalent network. So if the circuit is reciprocal, this is the T equivalent circuit. So here is the input terminals, Z11 minus Z21, Z22 minus Z12, here Z12. So this is the general equivalent circuit. So this is used when the circuit is not reciprocal. Okay, so there are some parameters, there are some devices where we cannot define the Z parameters. Now consider this case, which is a transformer. So here the transformer, in the transformer there are no Z parameters. We cannot define the Z parameters, but we can define a parameter called hybrid parameters. Why? Because we cannot define the expression of voltage and current relating the transformers explicitly. Okay, so that's why the Z parameters are not available for transformers. So Z parameters is obtained by open circuiting either the input terminals or the output terminals. So Z parameters are Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22, and the circuit is said to be reciprocal when circuit is linear and it has no dependent source and the transfer impedances are equal. If the circuit is reciprocal, then it can be replaced by this T equivalent circuit. If it is not reciprocal, then we can use this general equivalent circuit. So let us discuss a problem related to this Z parameters. So the problem statement is determine the Z parameters for the circuit shown. So this is the example. This is the example given. So we are going to determine the Z parameters. That is, we have to determine Z11, Z22, Z21 and Z12. Okay. So how can we obtain? We know it is obtained by connecting a voltage source and open circuiting this terminal and vice versa. Okay. So first, to determine Z11 and Z21, we apply a voltage source V1 to the input port. So consider this diagram. You can see that V1 is connected to the input port. So obviously we will have I1, and output port is open circuited. So the current I2 is 0. Now we can write Z11. Z11 is equal to V1 by I1. So how can we write V1? V1 is equal to I into R. So here I into Z11, right? So how can we write this? So we are considering only this loop because here it is open circuited. So this will be 20 plus 40 into I1. So that will be equal to V1, and I1 is I1. So this will give you Z11 value. Then Z21 is equal to, so here you can see that I2 is 0. So the only, how can, so the parameter relating I1 and V2 is Z21. Z21 is equal to V2 by I1. So V2, how can we write V2? Sorry, how can we find out V2? So this is a parallel branch. So this 40 ohm resistor is parallel with this V2. So the drop across this 40 ohm will be equal to V2. So that is equal to 40 into current flowing through is I1. So you will get 40 ohms. So next is what we are doing. We are open circuiting the input terminal and connecting source V2 at the output terminals. So again apply the same. So Z12 can be found out using, here I1 is 0. So the terms relating V1 and I2 is V1 by I2. So again V1 is equal to drop across this 40 ohm resistor, which is 40 I2. this is equal to 40 ohm, and again Z22 is equal to P2 by I2. So which will give you the value of this. So this is the value of Z parameters for the problem given. This is one method. This is the usual method, and this is the theory behind developing the Z parameter. Now there is a shortcut method. This is method 2. Now look at this network. This network is linear. There is no dependent source, and so there is no dependent source. That is one of the main condition. So this can be related to the T equivalent circuit, which we have seen here. So this is similar to this circuit, right? So compare this T equivalent circuit with this problem. Now we can write one thing, right? So here Z11 minus Z12 is equal to 20 ohms. So that is what is written here. Z11 minus Z12 is equal to 20. Now another here, Z22 minus Z12 is equal to 30. So that is what is written here. Z22 minus Z12 is equal to 30. Now here Z12 is equal to what is given? 40 ohms. So if the circuit is reciprocal, we know that Z12 is equal to Z21. So substitute the values and we can determine all the Z parameters.